You are now listening to the Yeshiva League Pass Tip-Off.
Please, no, please. Too much. No, actually keep going. Listen, that slow clap was brought to you, Ari, by the fact that we somehow made it through Pesach alive.
Not easy.
Wasn't that hard for me. I just went from Long Island to right across the GWB in beautiful Teaneck, New Jersey. But you, sir, you took a journey.
I went to the South. I went to the capital of the Jewish world for Pesach, Orlando, Florida.
And by Pesach, I mean January through December.
Right, exactly. No, but it was great. Pesach is a great holiday. You get to eat, be merry, have 4 cups of wine. You know, it's kind of like a Tuesday night for you.
It's like 8 cups of wine if you.
Right.
You know, it's funny you should say that because I literally had 8 cups of grape juice. So funny that's what you chose.
All right.
But
with the hot chocolate you like to drink.
Yeah, listen, that was the movie. I'm a grape juice hot chocolate kind of guy.
Party animal.
Yeah.
All right, but let's
call me.
But who do we got here today?
They don't want to hear me and you jibba jab about the grape juice. They want to know what's behind the curtain. And if you're looking at the title of this episode or you've seen the promo, you know that we got YU's biggest man on campus hailing from Los Angeles, California, or somewhere in the vicinity. We have Ryan Turell. So we're gonna
big man. We're
gonna let you know who made it possible for us to get Ryan Turell tonight, real quick, and then we're gonna bring him in. So Ari, let's talk about our sponsors. You know, I gotta tell you, Pesach's over. I gotta get a bagel.
Oh my god!
You'll notice I have no food here, which I believe makes most of our audience happy that I will not be eating on air during this episode. But tomorrow morning, go down there, go to Joel, get yourself a bagel, get yourself a salad, get some sushi. I mean, we know that you
Danishes, muffins.
Yeah. Like you, I know you walk in, you go, please, let me get a bushel of your finest lettuce or whatever it is you do. But that's between you and I don't know who.
But my system here.
Yeah, you gotta go to Gotta Get a Bagel.
Great place.
A special sponsor.
By the way, hold on. Wait, one more thing about Gotta Get a Bagel. Sorry. Don't forget, if you're looking to cater a simcha, a bris, a wedding, an anniversary, I don't know if you cater anniversaries, but bar mitzvahs, bat mitzvahs.
No reason you can't.
Yeah, why not? Call Gotta Get a Bagel. Now, Go ahead, Jay.
Yes. And now it's no secret. Gary Mandel, a huge fan of the program, a huge fan of you for some reason that I can't understand, Ari, but he very specifically said that he wanted to sponsor the episodes featuring Ryan Turell, and our last episode that aired right before Pesach, episode number 6, which featured the Halperts.
No, not the Halpern, the Halperts. Halperts. 3 of them.
Anyway, Gary Mandel, look him up. Additionally, there's this program that runs all year. I hear it's called the Lion's Den. All right, tell us all about it.
The Lion's Den is a program for adults, children. If you're looking to train, get yourself in a better frame of physical activity, and you want to...
you want to fill out a light blue sweater like Ari Whitkus.
Although it's gray.
Call Ari Whitkus.
Yes, check it out. The Lion's Den. You can call us, and we will help you achieve your goals.
And finally, at the end of the summer, if you're looking for a way to get rid of your kids because 7.5 weeks wasn't enough, then you need to call the Ballers Basketball Academy.
Ballers Basketball Academy. August 23rd through 26th at the Hafter Gymnasiums on Frost Avenue in the high school, the middle school. All gyms will be available. It's going to be a great camp Sunday through Wednesday, I believe. And it's Monday through Wednesday, August 23rd, 26th. NBA players, non-NBA players, people who want to be in the NBA, come. They're going to be leagues. It's going to be a heck of a time. Come check it out. Ballers Basketball Academy. Call us at 917-837-8643, and I may pick up.
You know, it's funny. Zoom just had a little error, and it almost seemed like I did it on purpose, but that was really just the Zoom thing. All right, we're going to shut our yappers, and we're going to bring in the man, the myth, the legend, the one, the only, Ryan Turell. Welcome to the program. Perfect. All right, he's here. He's here.
He's here?
Yeah.
Excellent.
Ryan Turell, welcome to the program. It is great to have you. Turns out Zoom works coast to coast, so it works. I mean,
Yes, it
Well,
does.
I guess we knew that already, right? Ar?
Yeah, we've been in Israel, we've been in California already. We're worldwide. That's who we are. That's how we do it.
Now, before we get into it, and we asked you this off air. I mean, we need to address the elephant in the room, or the Goldilocks in the room. That picture behind you is not you.
It is not me, no. As much as it looks like me, because I grew out the hair. No, that is my older sister, Austin. A lot of people say we look exactly alike.
That would be accurate, even at a young age.
Yeah, but Ryan,
She's
she
watching
doesn't look like she's older. She looks a little younger than you.
Oh, there she is younger.
Oh, okay.
There she is younger. Right now she's a bit older than that, but yes, she's got my.
Ari, I don't know if you know this, but when you take a picture, it freezes in time. It doesn't grow with you.
Listen, our audience, not the sharpest tools in the shed, so we're just going to make sure that they understand that this is an older picture of Austin was her name?
Austin, yes.
Austin Turell. All right. Well, listen, Ryan, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. We know NBC, ESPN, you had a lot of interviews. You fit us in. So we appreciate you coming on the show. And, when we started this show, you were obviously this podcast, you were obviously someone that we wanted to bring on when we think about, Jews in sports and really transcending the game. That was the name Ryan Turell was obviously one of the biggest names he wanted to get. And
and that's why Ari waited 7 weeks to call you.
Yeah, well, we had to build up the audience. We started with Coach Steinmetz when we weren't sure if our show was gonna make it or not. And then once we saw that even he got some hits, we figured,
listen, if this ship is gonna sink, let's just take Elliot with us.
Right, exactly.
I like that.
So Elliot did good. So he did good for us. So we're keeping the show going. But yeah, thank you for joining us. And we're just gonna get right into your story. Obviously, you've been playing basketball your whole life. Tell us about when you really started playing. Obviously, I'm sure when you were young is when it started. But when did you realize that this game of basketball could be something that could be high school, college, and beyond? When did that occur to you?
Realizing that it can be, that I can, make it special and be great at it. That was probably in the 7th or 8th grade. Growing up, I wasn't the tallest or strongest or fastest, but I always loved the game. And I started playing in 1st grade in organized leagues and, made my way up from there, but I was never the best player on the team. Not till 8th grade or so. And I grew up shorter. My brother was always tall. My brother, was 6 foot at his bar mitzvah. I was, 5'3". So that's why I became a guard. But it just came, I never had like a specific moment, but as time got on, I guess 8th grade is when I thought like, wow, I think I can be really good at this game.
How tall were you in 8th grade?
8th grade, so long ago.
So many inches ago, also, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Well, what are you right now? Right now, you're listed at 6'7".
I'm listed at 6'7". Yes. I was about 5'6", maybe 5'5", 5'6" in 8th grade.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Right.
Your brother. So your brother was obviously, I would imagine, a big role model for you as growing up.
Oh, absolutely. We would play out in the front yard with my brother and his friends, and my dad would come out and play. And we would have intense games on the driveway.
Ari, you noticed that in LA they played in the front yard.
Right.
It's not like the East Coast where we play in the backyard.
Right. We talked about with the Halperts. We're not used to front court baskets.
Yeah, that's where you put the car.
Yeah, no, yeah. We played in the front yard and games would get intense and we were always competitive as heck and, getting into arguments, but it made us better.
Now, how much older is your brother than you are?
He is 4 years older than me.
Oh, wow.
And so he played at YU as well, didn't he?
Sorry, my mom's here.
Oh, listen, your mom could come in and interrupt at any point. Okay, just tell her NBC.
Now, we were going to say this for later, but we hear your mom's one of your biggest fans. Is that accurate?
That is very accurate. She's been telling me since before I can dribble that I'm gonna be special in this game, and she's always been the biggest fan of mine and always been super supportive. Came to every single one of my games since I was little, and
that includes the YU games, right?
Say it again.
That includes the YU games?
That includes the YU games, and she lets me and everybody else know she's there, leading the chant. She's the #1 cheerleader at YU.
Was your mom a hooper growing up?
She was not. She was not at all. She claims to be an athlete. I've yet to see that, but
or hear any stories or have any evidence or nothing?
None. I have no evidence of that. She worked out. She was actually part of the Jane Fonda workout videos.
Get out of here.
So that's where she gets her energy from. There you go.
So that's where she gets her energy from. So she would be in those videos. So I guess that's where her athletic background is.
Right.
What about your dad? Does he play ball?
Yeah, my dad's a hooper. He played Division I basketball at UC Santa Barbara. He's in the team at Beverly Hills High for basketball and baseball. He's definitely an athlete, and can just about play golf to this day. He can only play golf right now, so he's competitive in that right now.
Right. So that's probably where you get a lot of your competitive spirit and drive, even from your mother. Even though if she's not an athlete, obviously, I'm sure everything she does to the fullest. So. Yes. So you're growing up, middle school, you're playing ball, and then you're, as you said, 7th, 8th grade is really when you felt, when you're playing on the court, you may be a little better than your peers, or you could do things that just came naturally to you. Then in high school, I know were you in Valley Torah your entire high school?
I was in Valley Torah since freshman year. Yes, my entire high school.
So we've had Coach Ryan Coleman in, and he, we had a great interview with him, and he, talks the world about you, and he never even coached you, but he did
actually.
Oh, he did coach you?
Ryan Coleman, I don't know if he remembers, but I used to the Game Timers was my first AAU program that I played for, and who Colin Jamerson, former coach of Shaw Havet, was the head coach, and Ryan Coleman was the strength and conditioning coach, but he also coached games. He was also an assistant coach, so he actually did coach me back in the day.
Wow. So I don't know if he mentioned that. He just, he kept mentioning when we talked about, the LA scene and the basketball. He just kept saying, I had a winning record against Ryan. Yeah. So, that's, he did mention that about 2 or 3 times.
I believe he said 5-1.
I watched the show. It's true. Can't say anything about it.
Right. Okay. All right. So he has that, but so you're Valley Torah, and I remember you in, it's not that long ago, but in high school, here we are in the East Coast in the Yeshiva League, we covered that a lot and we watched a lot of games. We kept hearing about, there's this kid in California. I actually remember Elliot, Coach Steinmetz, telling me about it once. He said, we have this kid, Ryan Turell. He goes, you have never seen a kid like this. And he showed me a video of you dunking. I think it was at Cooper tournament or something, layup lines, like doing 360s. And I'm just like, no, show me the Cooper tournament, like the Jewish basketball tournament. And he's like, no. and this was my first time I got to see you, at a play the game. And when did your athletic ability, obviously that's something, some of it is just natural, right? You have that ability, but when did you start realizing, wow, I can jump high, I can dunk, and really put it, to that level? So I was able to dunk a little bit as a freshman. I grew up to about 6'3" from 5'6", 5'7". So I went through this growth spurt. It was funny when I was growing up. I always had big feet. I have size 13 shoe. I had size 13 shoe when I was 5'1". I just looked like I was just walking around with clown feet everywhere. I didn't start. I started plyometric training going into my junior year of high school. I was dunking, but then I went from like dunking to, doing cool stuff in the air. And by the way, Ryan, sorry to interrupt, but Jewish dunking is just, if you hit the rim and throw it down, that's cool dunking, just so you know. Okay.
Right.
Most of our
you're allowed to throw it and then grab the rim. Like that counts too.
Listen, these Jewish kids are evolving. I watched a high school game, or I saw a play from a high school game where one of Shaw Havet's games, where Zev Reamer threw like a no-look pass in between 2 guys, and this kid Popsky jumped up and smashed it, and I was pretty impressed.
Right. It's true. The game is evolving. And by the way, that's something, you're kind of at the forefront of that. I mean, this is, you're showing kids that they have the ability to, and we'll get on to your pro aspirations and YU seasons and everything. But, you must feel that when you walk into gyms now. I mean, you must feel like you have some eyes on you, right? People are watching you, they're looking at you and looking up to you. So how do you deal with that? Which is, something, you just have it thrust upon yourself and you have to deal with that.
I mean, at the end of the day, that's a blessing. I just thank God for, everything that he's done for me. And, it's a dream come true. I've always, I wanted to set an example for, the younger Jewish community that, they don't have to settle because, they have a yarmulke on their head. I wanted them to push and pursue their dreams. And, if I helped any kid, and then it's just a dream come true.
Right. Well, is that also like, obviously, it's been documented. You've had, I think 18, 19, the numbers around there of Division I scholarship offers to come and play ball. So obviously when you have that opportunity in front of you, that's a pretty big thing to turn down. And you decided to go to Yeshiva University, and I think you made the right decision as the program has just blown up. But how did that go? And like, who are your offers, some of your bigger offers from, and how did you weigh that with the family and that decision?
Right. So actually, I'm going to tell you something that not a lot of people know.
They will now.
But maybe Steinmetz knows, or maybe not, I don't know. But I actually verbally committed to West Point my junior year in high school. By the end of my junior year of high school, I verbally committed. I told them I was coming. And, when I sat back and after like a week or so, I sat back and really thought about my decision, and I was worried. I was worried that Judaism, might be sacrificed a little bit if I go there, but I wasn't 100% sure, because they said, listen, like, we'll help you out and we'll get you kosher food, and you'll be able to sit out games you need to sit out and practice you need to sit out for. So, that kind of sold me on it. But then, we called the rabbi of the Chabad there.
Always a Chabad around town.
Right,
Always.
exactly. We called them anonymously. And, we called them. It's just to see, we wanted to see if it was true. And we called him, and he said, listen, if your kid's an Orthodox Jew, this may not be the right place for him. There's not a lot of, there's not a lot of Jewish life. There's not a lot of, stuff that you'll be able to sit out for, and it's tough to get kosher food there, and yada, yada, yada. And, I sat back and I said to my dad, I said, listen, like, I've gone to Jewish schools my whole life. I've kept Shabbos my whole life. I've kept kosher my whole life. Judaism is me, it's a part of my life. It's a part of me. Why throw it away just to say, hey, I played Division I basketball? Why throw all that away?
A very mature decision from a 17-year-old, right? I mean, that's amazing.
It was a very difficult decision, and it was a tough conversation that I've had to have with that school. But then I with YU success, and Elliot, Elliot recruited me since I was a freshman in high school. He was on top of me since then.
He saw those big feet, no matter how tall you were.
Yeah, exactly. He saw those big feet, I guess. But he's been on top of me, and he's been persistent, and he's done a heck of a job. He just did a heck of a job recruiting me and recruiting the guys he got. He got a lot of guys, and he's a hell of a recruiter, and he just did just that. But
there's no regrets in the decision to go.
No regrets.
And was that it? After the West Point situation, you didn't look at any of the other D1 offers. It was West Point, no, and then YU?
Yes, correct. If it wasn't West Point, it was YU. And it wasn't West Point. And so, Elliot.
Plus, you would have had to shoot guns and go to basic training.
Yeah, exactly.
Who wants to like
right? I mean,
under barbed wire fences.
Yeah.
It's not
correct.
fun.
Elliot's practices at 6 a.m. are probably pretty hard, but training for the Army, that could be a little
climbing
difficult.
walls. Who wants to do all that?
Yeah, no, I wasn't. Yeah, that would be tough. That'd definitely be tough. But yeah, so I mean, he sold a pitch that listen, you can go to a Division I school and you can be another guy, or you can come here and do something and do something special and win a national championship with Gabe Life or Simcha Halpert and Donnie, and we didn't know who Ofek was yet, but guys like that. And I was sold, and haven't looked back.
Right. Well, let me ask you a question. So you had that big decision, right? You had a Division I. You said, no, I'm going to YU. So did that change your dreams at all? Were you still thinking, I know professional basketball, Israel, Europe, NBA. I know, obviously your dreams are as high as you can dream. So going to a Division III school, did that change like the trajectory of where you thought you could end up, or did you just said, you know what, I'm betting on myself. I've been put in a position my whole life to train and succeed, and I'm going to bet on myself to get to that level? Or did you be like, you know what, let's just see what happens? Did your dreams, and aspirations change at all?
Listen, when I was going through that thought process, it was, I always wanted to play professionally overseas for like in Israel. That's always been a dream of mine. But my thought process going into that was, if you perform and if you win, they'll find you, and it doesn't matter where you're at. If you do what you need to do, and if your team succeeds, they will find you. And me personally, I wanted to set that pathway, that road for the next kid who does get D1 offers, and for the next kid who is, a guy who is supposedly better than Division III basketball. And I wanted to set a pathway to success for those kids having that same conversation with their dad or mom, or families, who want to keep Shabbos and keep kosher and keep Judaism a part of their life. I want to set that pathway to success, that you can come to yeshiva and still observe and still be an Orthodox Jew while you're still playing basketball at a high level.
Right. I mean, you must have come up with that in the AAU circuit, because I would imagine most of those tournaments are on Shabbos and on Saturday.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right? So you had to deal with that, and you were like, this is who I am, and if you want me to be in your team, there's going to be some games I may not be able to play, or other ways you have to navigate through that. But
there was a lot of ways that we had to navigate. I mean, we would stay at hotels right by the gym and walk there, with a cooler of food, that we can make peanut butter and jelly sandwiches before games, and all my
no cholent in that cooler.
No cholent, we couldn't heat it up. But my AAU teammates were like, yo, why do you bring a care package to every game? What are you doing here? Like,
but by the way, they probably watch Ryan play and they're like, you know what, Mom, Dad, can you get me that care package that Ryan's eating? It seems to be working for him.
I need to be eating peanut butter and jelly before the games.
Yeah.
So are you friendly with Jacob Steinmetz at all?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
because he essentially went through the same type of process, coming up for a different sport, but the same sort of thing, walking to games and dealing with that.
Right. No, absolutely. I mean, that kid's a different talent. That kid's special. He's going to MLB, and he's going to get paid a lot of money to do it.
Well, he's just doing it for the love of the game, like yourself. Yeah. Any paycheck is just great.
He's doing it for the love of the game, but
let me ask you a question. In the AAU circuit, who were? I mean, obviously, I know what AAU team did you play with? Was it like, do you have a main team that you
played? I played for West Coast Elite, and it's called West Coast Elite now. It used to be called Earl Watson Elite. But yeah, I played for them.
Who were some of the best players that you played with in the AAU circuit?
So I played with Nico, Mannion, Josh Green, Cassius, Stanley, Johnny Juzang.
All NBA or about to be NBA players.
Yeah. I covered all those guys for Slam Magazine. They played in all of our Slam showdowns that we did.
Right. Yeah. No, those are top level.
Yeah,
and how did you fare against them? I mean, obviously they're a crazy caliber athlete. And,
right. Listen, I thought I was doing well, and I thought I did well. But they were something special. They were a different talent. You could tell that they were going to the league from day one. I was playing with Nico Mannion. I gotta say, he would find me places where I didn't think I was open, and I mean, he would pass me over. We call it passing open when you make a pass to a guy who's not open yet, right? But because you threw the pass, it got him open. He would pass me, and it was just ridiculous to play.
So
with that
he saw like 3 steps ahead of the play.
Exactly.
And this is someone, by the way, for everyone. He's playing on the Golden State Warriors now. I think he's backing up some guy named Stephen Curry or something.
Yeah, exactly. He was playing chess. Everybody else was playing checkers.
Right.
Yeah. It was, and then Cassius Stanley was, just a freak athlete. I mean, I was in the help side one play during practice, and he went baseline, and I jump up. I get a good stride in. I jump up to try to block him, and he jumps up from way outside the key, and I'm going up. I start going down, and he's still going up, and I just get out of the way. And
you're like, I don't want to be in a poster right now. And by the way, this is someone who was he was the runner-up for the NBA Slam Dunk Championship they just had like a month ago.
He would jump up and look inside the rim, like it was like he was on a trampoline, just running around.
Right. So wow, the caliber of players you're playing. So let's talk about to Valley Torah for your high school. And I remember you in that Cooper tournament. You had a pretty good, an amazing team. I don't think you were even the tallest guy in that team. You had the brothers, right, who were a part of that team.
Israeli Towers. They were. I was as tall as one of them. Nadav, who's on YU now. But the other one was a little bit taller, who turned out to be 6'9" now, which is good. Yeah. So we had a great team. We had a very talented team. And
Ari, all this tells you is you need to raise kids on the West Coast. That's all I'm hearing here.
What are the care packages that they're feeding them in the West Coast? I mean, you can't be less than 6'3".
I think the smog makes you grow. That's what it is.
The peanut butter and jelly sandwiches.
Right. Exactly. So that's amazing. Some of the players you played against, and and then you get to YU, and obviously people tend to forget, just because you're a great player, that also means you have great expectations, right? You come into this program, and YU, as Elliot has told us, and the Halperts, they've already been playing well. They've elevated their game, and people all of a sudden are taking a little interest. They're like, wow, this YU game, let's check it out. It's a fun night. Let's go see what's going on. Then you come in to the school, and I know you bypass your gap year in Israel to get right into the thick of it. How did it come? How did your teammates accept you as you coming in and, being a freshman, which is, the new man on campus, even though you're the big man on campus? How did they take you in? And were there any specific players who took you under their wing and, really taught you about yeshiva basketball?
Yeah, absolutely. Donnie Katz, he was the guy who really took me in and was, just a great senior or great captain. Sorry, he wasn't a senior yet, but just a great captain, and showed me the ropes and showed me the offense and was with me the whole way through. And, Simcha Halpert, he was there for me, and Gabe Leifer, obviously. And they all welcomed me in with open arms, and, we took off from there. I personally knew it was going to take a year for us to gel as a unit, which is why I took my year off of Israel. I wanted the opportunity to play with Simcha and Donnie and Gabe for 2 years. And I thought we could be special that second. I thought we were going to be really good that first year, but I thought we were going to be special the second year.
Well, turns out you were right. You guys were pretty far.
Right. The only one who beat you was Corona.
Yeah. So from your perspective, and obviously we've talked about this with your coach. We've talked about this with Simcha, who's now kind of moved on and playing, professionally in Israel. What was it like for you losing the tournament last year? How did that kind of hit?
Yeah, I mean, it was heartbreaking. You got 16 other teams in the tournament, all saying, that's our year. We would have won it all. And we're one of those teams, and I thought we would have won it all. But it's just like you don't get the bitterness of defeat. You don't get the sweetness of victory. It was just like a story that just didn't have an ending. It was a storybook that just blank pages, and no one really knows what would have happened. It was just heartbreaking. I felt horrible for all the seniors that year who gave all their time and effort and put it all in, and to not have a team beat you or not win it all, not have the opportunity to do that, it was just horrible.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
things are, of course, getting back to normal now. I mean, we saw last night they played the Division I college national championship game. But for you guys, it was a little bit bittersweet this year because here goes another year of eligibility for you. And essentially, I think you guys played 8 official games. Was that it? This
We
year?
played 7 games, but
7.
everybody who played this year gets a extra year of eligibility technically. So I can come back for two more years technically.
Is that part of the plan?
We'll see. I don't know if it's part of the plan, but we'll see. Let's see how good.
Yeah, he has that in his back pocket. If
All right.
if this initial thing called NBA or Israel League doesn't come calling, you always can play that another year.
So what about next year? We got next year's on tap. We're staying at YU or still up in the air?
Yeah, I'm at YU next year. Our goal is to win a national championship. And, we've been dying to do it, and we've got a team built for it. And we really want to do it. And we want to win a national championship for the Jewish people and for YU and New York and Israel and everybody, who's been a fan and supporting us. So, yes.
Does that include, so you must have to turn recruiter now, because now you got to recruit Gabe Leifer to say, hold off on that big 6 law firm or the accounting firm, whatever job offers. Are we going to get him back for one more year?
I'm hoping so. I've been texting him a lot, and I actually talked to him earlier today about it. So hopefully we'll get him back, and I think he's gonna. I hope he comes, and we definitely need him, and would love to have him back. So I'm definitely asking him to exercise his eligibility rules.
He's just gonna have to find some classes to take.
We'll find him classes.
He'll find a Gemara Shear or something. He's a good boy. Yeah,
Gemara Shear. We're good. We're good to go. But yeah, we definitely want him back. And yeah,
it's really cool to hear you say and to have those goals and to say, hey, we want to win a championship for the Jewish people. And I know it was hard. We spoke to Simcha. You could tell it was hard. I mean, given his age and just where he was in his career trajectory, to that's it. That's you
right.
Find out on a bus, there's no game, and that's the end of your career, or your college career rather, and it just kind of ends there. And it's really cool. I think you're in the perfect year to kind of have this opportunity to have the right number of years ahead of you. And obviously, you guys played great this year. We followed what you guys did, and I think next year will be a very interesting year for you guys.
Yeah, the eyes will be upon you, that's for sure. But you mentioned Ofek Reef, who I've heard is a good friend of yours. So is he one of the best athletes, Jewish athletes, and not forget Rabbi Cassius Stanley, that you've played with? Because I hear he's only like 6'1". He's doing dunking and doing things as well. So what kind of athlete is Ofek?
If he's 6'1", he says he's 6'1". I don't buy it, but he's a freak athlete. I mean, this kid is, we'll call it 6'1", but he 205, 210, and he's above the rim. He flies, and he's just a freak athlete. If he can play another sport and dominate.
Did you ever play him in high school? Did you ever compete against him?
I didn't play him in high school. That would have been a really fun showdown. I don't think his team would have had a chance against ours, but having said that, I thought that would have been pretty cool to play against him in high school.
Right. So he's a year behind you. Is he?
He is a year behind me, correct?
Right. Okay. So you got it, as you mentioned, you got a lot of firepower coming back. So obviously we were hoping for the best, and next year should, God willing, be a normal season where you play and you practice like any other season, and you have those chance to play in the tournament. So as far as Yeshiva League, so I know in Valley Torah you played in the Cooper tournament. You probably played in the Glauberman tournament. Yep. And you played as well in Sarachek, because I know Coach Coleman told us that was the game you guys lost in the championship.
Yes. Yeah, so we won Glauberman and we won Memphis, but then we lost in the championship in overtime to Sholhabet.
Right. So
Jack Mahler had, an exceptional game.
Right. It was, I'm sure, one of those losses you'll remember, but obviously an unbelievable season to win those other 2 tournaments. So as far as the best Yeshiva League player, and when we say Yeshiva League, we mean the Yeshiva, the Frishes, the MTAs, not the California teams. Who would give me 3 best players you played against, and you obviously competed against them through all those tournaments. Mag and David, any of those schools that you would say.
No, it's Judah Oppenheimer has to be there. He knocked me and Max Leibowitz, my running mate, out my junior year, and he was just a killer, man. He just killed us. He hit like 3 step back threes late in the fourth quarter, and cut our dreams that year down. And he was just, no matter what, he made it to Sunday on Sarachek every year. Didn't matter who was with him. He got to Sunday. He won those playing games, and he made it to the Jewish Final Four, I guess. But he was a sensational player. Another guy that was, you got to go with Gabe, obviously.
But we're gonna push Gabe aside because everyone's easy.
Yeah. Warren Batesh, I didn't play against him, but watching him play, and he lit up EULA, I believe, my senior year of high school. It was the first time I saw him, and he played against EULA, and he hit like 8 threes in the first half, and he was ridiculous. In the 3-point contest, he hit like 33 threes. He's actually my workout buddy at YU. He's on the team now, and I hit a bunch of threes in a row, and then I started talking smack. This guy goes off and hits 45 threes in a row and shuts me up. So
then Ryan, then you just do a 360 dunk, and then
exactly,
I don't think Orange getting close to that rim.
No, I just walked up and I touched the rim, and I said, "Hey, you do that now." But yeah, he's a sensational. He's an extremely hard worker, and he's one of, if not the best shooter I've ever seen.
All right, now you got to give us a guy who's not a YU teammate. Okay, we're gonna because I know Judah's a teammate, Oren's a teammate, and Gabe obviously. So now I'm gonna make it even harder for you. It's gonna be someone who you can't be nice to. Who you gotta just
I already got one in mind. It's actually Mo Proctor or Moshe Chaim now. I remember playing him my junior year after we were knocked out, but we played them on Sunday. And he was
TABC, right?
TABC, yes. He was a bucket. He was really good. He had an unreal post game, and his turnaround his face up game was unbelievable. He could definitely play for YU. He was really good.
All right, so those are 3. We got some good names there as far as Yeshiva League players. So now there's been a lot of talk, and I know there's articles and everything about saying the story of YU basketball with the 36 in a row. Elliot always kills me when I get it wrong. 36
in a row. You actually got it right.
Okay, good. 36 in a row.
Gonzaga almost tied it last night.
Oh, okay. So you obviously rooting for Baylor last night.
I actually was hoping they did. We'd get crazy. Hopefully we'd get PR like, oh, Gonzaga tied Yeshiva. That'd be pretty cool.
I guess we have to play that back. Ryan, so now that the notoriety of the Yeshiva League University, the school, that you have 36 wins in a row, and the lights are shining bright upon you and your story. We've also heard about the aspirations of the NBA are now something that, it could come to fruition, that you have some scouts looking at, some film and some different things. Has this, obviously something you've heard about, has this all of a sudden changed your dreams, or is it like, I'm still focused on being the best player I can and whatever happens in the future does? Or do you feel like, wow, this is, getting bigger than I could have ever imagined?
No, I mean, I definitely got to stay focused and, stay poised for that ultimate goal. But, to hear my name, like to hear that they noticed is just an unbelievable feeling and a dream come true. And it's completely humbling. I didn't expect it, but, to have that happen was amazing. And, it just makes me hungrier and makes me want to, put in more work and work extra hard to try to get there. It's a long way to go. I know that, and hopefully I'll be able to put in the work to do that. But
right, you're not ready to declare on air that you're putting your name in the NBA draft just yet, right? Okay. No. I just wanted to know if we had that breaking news. You will come to us.
Yes, no, for sure. I'm coming to you guys first.
All right, good. I just wanted to know that. But tell us.
I'm keeping my balance at Yeshiva University.
Right. But how does that seriously? How does that change? How does that change the plan? I mean, was that ever the plan? And now that you hear your name being thrown around, you got scouts looking at you. I mean, does it change what you're doing, or is it still no? This is it. I work out 3 times, whatever, and same guy, same plan.
Yeah, no, it's the same plan. Just keep with the training. I work out with this guy named Dash, who he trains a bunch of NBA guys, and
You know he's serious if he's just known as Dash. It's like Snoop, you know. Okay.
Exactly. But he trains a bunch of NBA guys and high major guys, and he would have me work out and play against them over the last summer. And, you know, so and it got me a lot better and a lot more prepared. So, you know, hopefully I just trained with him today. So I just got to keep training with him and working hard and getting bigger and more athletic and just keep working on my game.
Are you done growing vertically?
My mom is convinced I have a couple more inches in me, but I don't believe it. But well, you never know. I'll pray for it, but
there you go. You have a lot of things you can pray for. Height, you know, a little fewer inches. You know, Jay wishes he was 5'9", so that's, you know, everyone has their dream.
Ari doesn't believe anybody's 5'10". I'm 5'10".
Ryan,
I happen to agree with you. 5'10" is non-existent number.
Exactly.
We're gonna have to do this on air at some point. I'm gonna have to go get like the measuring tape and just hold it up, and we're just gonna put this to bed.
Right.
Listen, you got to grow your hair out if you want those extra inches.
Yeah, 20 years ago, maybe either of us could have done that. But
I could, you know, here I got
Ryan, the guy who wears a hat all the time. Okay.
I'm good.
All right, you got a little. But here, let me ask you a question. What is a typical off-season day for Ryan Turell? Like how, you know, this is something for the kids listening. You know, obviously you're a little different, but what are you doing in the off season? Like what does the day start to finish for you?
Obviously
it's filling in davening in the morning. I mean, I understand
filling and davening, and then I work out with my trainer named my weight / you know, athletic trainer named Durrell. He's gotten me to, you know, a point physically that, you know, I couldn't have gotten there without him. And so I work out with him in the morning. Then I would go, first I would work out with Dash in the mornings. And then I would go to Durrell, and I'd go back to Dash later in the day. And then after that, I would just play pickup, you know, for as long as I can. You know,
and where are these pickup games? These aren't just the generic park. I'm sure you're going to a high roller pickup game.
Yeah, I mean, so Meta World Peace actually started this app in California right now. Hopefully it blows up. But you know, it's actually a pickup ball app, and we would have like D1 guys and
5'10" and taller.
5'10" and taller. There's a requirement. I'm sorry if you're not
I'm
that.
good.
But,
I'm 5'10". I'm in.
Oh, you're good.
I'm in.
No, but
wait, the guys get ranked on the app? Like, do you have like a rating in there? How does it work?
No, but they'll have like a invite only thing for the guys who can hoop, and then they'll have like an open thing, like open runs, and then it'll be like private run, you know.
Hold on, I'm checking my phone. No, I haven't been invited yet. Okay, so yeah, you get invited,
and then you go out and you play, and it's an organized pickup game kind of, and you play for hours, and it was just awesome.
How long have you been doing like these types of workouts, working with a trainer? I mean, you're working with 2 trainers now, and then how long have you been doing this at that type of pace and intensity?
So I've been with Dash since my sophomore year of high school. You know, he's you know, helped me get a lot better, and I've been with him since then. So I've been training with him for a long time, and he's, you know, always believed in me and always pushed me to my limits. So I've been training with him since sophomore year. He actually recommended me Durrell 2 summers ago. And, you know, the jump, I was, you know, 165, 170. And I I was like 165, came back to school at 180
in one summer.
Correct.
That's a lot of care packages you're eating.
Yeah.
No, that's hard work.
Yeah,
PB&J. Yeah,
exactly. A lot of PB&J. And then the next year, I worked out with Durrell, and he got me from like 180 to like 195 to 200.
Wow.
And so he's been awesome, and hopefully we can gain another 10, 15 pounds.
So you want to be 6'7", 220-ish? Is that like the goal? I mean, the height is what it is, but the goal of the weight is about 220.
Dude, a lean 210. 215. If that's possible. I don't know if it's possible, but you know, I think that would be the ideal weight. You know, players are so much bigger now and heavier now that, you know, you got to do it in order to just stay healthy.
Right. So by the way, so it sounds like Dash will be in the green room if you're invited for the top 20 picks of the NBA draft of 2023. He'll be in the green room with you.
If that happens, you know, will be in the green room.
Okay, just want to know. Shout out to Dash. So no, so
Yeah.
that's so this is hard work. Have you, is there a certain amount of, I get to knock down 300 3-pointers a day, or 100 foul shots?
At school, me and Oren, we try to make 500 a day. That's
500 threes.
Correct. 500.
So 250 each, or
no.
oh, 400 for him, 100 for you.
Yeah, exactly. No, 500 each. And we'll get on each other. We'll hit 250, or we'll hit 100. Let's say in the morning after practice, and we'll go eat breakfast, and then we'll go to class, and he'll be texting me, hey, when's your next free period? And then we'll go out and we'll hit another 100 or two. And then
how does that work? When he says when's your next free period, do you just say to your professor or your rabbi, say,
no.
They're calling
within the schedule.
Okay.
We don't miss classes. But then we'll get on each other, and if we don't, if one of us goes, we're tired, I'm tired, if I say I'm tired, he'll be like, no, you're not, you're getting in the gym, and that's just the type of kid he is. And then we'll get on each other. He says, I'm not really down. I say, dude, you're shooting, and we just get on each other like that. So it's really important. I think it's really important to have a workout buddy and a workout partner that's going
pushing you.
Does this become a job for you at some point? Like, is this still purely fun?
It's both, it's always been fun, but I want to do it as a profession. So I guess it's a job, but it's a job that I have fun in.
Best kind of job you can have.
Exactly. I mean, I love it. I've ever since I was, young, I've always gone and played pickup at the local park, and I've always had, people around me who want to play, and having that and just going out and playing gets you better. You can, I think at the end of the day, if you just play basketball every day, you're going to get better. And that was kind of my thought process going into it, and I would just show up to every park and play against the best players as I possibly could. And that's how I got better. Yeah.
Right. So let me ask a question. You get the ball. You're let's say for some reason YU is actually in a close game. I know most of the games are double digits, and you guys are just blowing everyone out. But
it's the first minute of the first quarter.
Yeah, no, but this is tie game. You're down by one. The play is to go to Ryan. I'm not Coach Simons. I'm smart, not that smart, but I'm getting the ball to you, and that's gonna I'm gonna let you make the decision. But the decision is right now you can't pass it off. What's your go-to move? Where's your sweet spot on the court? You don't need a 3-pointer. You're down by one. Where's your spot that, like, how Kobe had, I'm going to that elbow. I'm going to take that shot. What's the Ryan Turell down by one with the ball in his hand?
That mid-range pull-up J. Either way, that's my favorite shot. It's been my favorite shot since I was a sixth grader in elementary school, and it's been my go-to shot ever since.
And we see that a lot. That's that foul line jumper that you take, so to elevate and hit that.
Yeah, I pick a spot. I pick a spot where I want to get. I get to the spot and I rise up and I shoot it. That's my favorite shot. That's my go-to shot.
So you're not even. So your confidence level is so high. You're like, you don't need to get to the rack. You're like, your sweet spot is get that 15-foot, 20-foot jumper, and that's where you feel that your best knock is going to come from.
So yeah, I mean, I've coaching in the past, like I've heard so many coaches like, oh, get to the rack. But if you think about it, like all of the game winners, it feels like our pull-up J's.
Right.
And if you watch the UCLA game against Gonzaga, or I don't know, it was on Yontif. I watched it after. It was we TiVo'd it. Juzang, he ran into the guy. And the guy took a charge. Because there was so much help side. If he takes a pull-up J, he can make that shot. So going through rim, I feel like is dangerous. But at the end of the day, you have to get a shot off. So and I'm comfortable with that shot.
Right. Not only that, Ari, it's funny. I had a hockey game last night. It's a true story, and
it's hysterical. Yeah.
Yeah. So, we play with a bunch.
Ryan,
of
Jewish hockey, just so you know.
This is real hockey. We got professionals just like Ryan on our team. Okay,
it's knee hockey in your basement. Yeah.
No, this is a true story. No, seriously, our team is made up of half old guys like me and older, and then of the older guys, it's their kids, and those kids are the players, right? Like, these are 20-year-olds playing at Stony Brook, playing like legit ice hockey players.
Love
So
it.
when you're playing, the one thing you notice is when those guys have the puck, you could do anything you want to them and no penalty will get called. You could hook, you could slash, you could trip. Doesn't matter. Like the expectation is, no, those guys are great. Everybody can see it. They're playing against old guys, so you could do whatever you want. And in the NBA, you're not getting a foul call if you go to the basket on the last play of the game. You will get mauled. You will get attacked. You know, they'll pull your shorts down. It doesn't matter. So going to the rack in a tight spot is, you know, it's a tough world down there because
absolutely with 7-footers and shot blockers at their caliber, and also the refs don't want to call it. They don't want to call that deciding.
They want the game to be decided on the court.
Unless
how many times? How many times do you see a foul call at the end of the game and the guy gets to stand on the line by himself and take 2 shots? Never. I mean, once every 5,000 games.
Search a championship game, but let's not talk about that.
I think
we hear the West Coast
bias.
We
put a clip of that in last week's show. I believe.
Right.
I believe we had that.
What's the one aspect of your game that, besides strength and getting physically stronger, that you're looking to improve on in the off season, or something that you've always felt like you could get better at?
You can never be a good enough shooter. That's obvious. You know, you see a guy like Steph Curry putting up so many shots, and he's the best shooter we've ever seen. So you can never be a good enough shooter. But something I want to improve on is definitely my ball handling. I want to be able to, be a point guard, and that's my position, I guess, if I would go pro. So I want to be able to handle the ball a little bit better and work on that, and being able to go both ways at a high level, and being just as comfortable going one way as I am the other way.
I did a podcast 3 days ago with another hooper. His name's Ben Simmons. You may have heard of him. And he's 6'10" playing point guard. We were joking around because he had like 9 or 10 rebounds or something like that the game before. And somebody's like, yeah, you just don't see that out of a point guard. And I go, yeah, you also don't see 6'10" out of your point guard. Does that, and the funny part is like the big guy that you could remember, if you think back, the only guy who was ever that was Magic. Magic was 6'10" playing point. And like, that's really never been replicated. And with guys now who are bigger, stronger, faster, shooting the ball from the logo half the time, where do you see yourself kind of, because you're at sort of like an interesting height and weight. You're not 3 inches taller and 30 pounds heavier, but you're not 6'3", 6'4", you're 6'7". Where do you kind of see yourself going in the next, at YU and then professionally, whether that be in Europe or beyond? Like, where do you see yourself kind of fitting in position wise?
Position wise is combo guard. If they need me to be, listen, I'm the type of guy who will do like anything you need. If you need a guy who can shoot the ball and knock down shots, I'll be that guy. If you need a guy to set picks, I'll be that guy. If you need a guy to dish it to whoever, I'll be that guy. At the end of the day, these guys just need teams everywhere just need roles filled. And whatever my role is, whatever they want me to do, I'll fill that role and I'll do that. I think
that's actually kind of what Coach. I'm sorry to interrupt you, Ryan, but that's kind of what Coach Steinmetz told us. He said we talked about you. When we interviewed him, he said Ryan is the most selfless player you could imagine. He goes, he is a superstar, but the easiest guy to coach. He said that you want to have someone who locks down their other player's best player on defense. Ryan's going to do it. You need that pass. I think there was even that game where when Gabe Leifer hit a 3-pointer with one of your close games, where you saw the double team come to you, you got Gabe wide open in the corner, and you pass it off. I mean, that's like you said, you're really willing to do whatever it takes to get the win, which is the ultimate goal. And to hear that from a superstar, that's a teaching moment for kids out there to know that you don't have to score the most points to make the biggest impact on the game.
100%, and if you 100%, and to the kids watching, if you watch Jalen Suggs play, he is the most valuable player on the court. He's going to be a top 5 pick, and he's going to make a lot of money doing what he does. He didn't lead the team, and he wasn't leading the team in scoring. He wasn't, he had Timmy and Kispert, balling out, and he was, what he did was he would guard the other team's best player and dish those guys the ball when they needed the ball, and that's why he's such a special kid and such a special talent.
Right.
It's interesting. LeBron, who's about your height and
not the same weight though,
a little bit bigger, a little bit tiny, whatever.
Yeah.
But if you remember, Ari, when he first came in the league, obviously he was a physical specimen and he could dunk and all that, but he took a lot of heat because there was knock on him. Oh, LeBron just he's afraid to take the final shot. He just wants to pass it. And I think that was a terrible miscategorization of the player that he was. And, fast forward a couple of years and nobody says that anymore. The understanding is, no, this guy could play the 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, and he's going to dish the ball because that's how he makes his team better.
Right.
And that's the guy, he is the positionless player, the quintessential positionless player.
Right. Ryan, did you ever get frustrated, playing? Because obviously, especially in the high school level and in middle school level, did you ever feel frustrated playing with teammates who weren't, near your level?
No, absolutely not.
You just didn't give him the rock.
Right.
No, you gotta trust your teammates. At the end of the day, nobody can win by themselves. And I knew that, and all my teammates were, my best friends, and they were my boys. So I wouldn't get frustrated. I'd appreciate, everything they did. And I know personally that I wouldn't be where I'm at or where I was, if it wasn't for that, So, and that at the end of the day, they're going to battle with you, they're going to war with you, and you gotta, have that trust with them.
Right. Who was
your guy growing up? Was it Kobe because you're an LA guy?
Yeah, Kobe. Kobe was my guy. Yeah.
Why number 11?
So number 11 is actually my father's number. And I wore it to honor him, and it's become my favorite number as well. He wore it throughout high school and college. So.
Right. Well, who would you say, you can't answer your dad, the biggest coaching influence in your career? And it could be present coach, past, whatever. Can't say your dad. We're going to assume your dad was number 1.
I've had so many, Coach Kaplan, he coaches the youth program that I played with growing up. And then Coach Sandy Hines, he was my shooting coach, at a younger level. And, Lior Schwartzberg, Coach Lior, he coaches at Valley Torah. He means the world to me, and he's an amazing coach. Alex Liu, he was the assistant coach there. And then Steinmetz has been amazing. So I've been.
I think he's hit every coach he's had since he's been in diapers.
Well done.
Listen, and I'm not where I'm at today if it wasn't for my coaches and it wasn't for the people around me. So, and I understand that, and those coaches need the props that they deserve. And I'm where I'm at because of them, and I'm grateful they're a part of my life.
Right. If you once you, God willing, graduate YU or take your talents, to the next level, if you don't win an NCAA championship, is that a letdown for you? Like, do you feel you came into YU thinking I need to get one out of these 4 or 5 years, however many years, you're eligible, or is it, what, I did everything I can, and you can only do so much?
Right. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, you got to leave it all on the floor, no matter what. You got to leave it all on the floor and try your best. And if you don't succeed, you don't succeed. But at the end, if you can control, you can't control everything. You can't control the refs. You can't control how many times you touch the ball. You can't control, the other players on the court. But what you could do is you can control your effort. And, I know it sounds cliche, but if you leave it all on the floor and you say, listen, I put in all that I could have put in, and I left it all on the floor, then, and we don't win, that's just the way it is. Obviously that's not the goal in mind. We want to win that national championship, and I do feel like we have the right pieces to do so. So, that's the ultimate goal. But if we don't get there, and we leave it all on the floor, I'll be satisfied with that.
Right. So it sounds like, I mean, your head is on right, your hair is on right. I mean, we've seen the growth of your hair. You came back one season, and all of a sudden you had this bouffant of hair, which is
what's next? What's my next haircut?
Right, I don't know. We'll see next season when
that picture right behind you. Just let it go.
Oh, right there. Yeah. Not bad, not bad.
Right. But no, this is, I mean, your story is amazing. And I think, you know, to just recap, I think the thing that really comes out of this whole thing is that you get to where you are. It's not an accident. I mean, you've put in the hard work, and you're humble and motivated all at once. And I guess, you know, for everyone who's listening out there, I mean, you're a great role model. I mean, you should continue, you know, until you're 120 to play in the NBA or to whatever dreams you have. But, you know, this is something that, you know, kids can really hold on to. And, you know, as we had Tamir Goodman, I mean, you are now something tangible for the kids out there, the Jewish kids to see that, you know, chase your dreams. And, you know, this is something that you never know what's going to be. So we, first of all, thank you so much for coming. I don't know, Jay, if you have any other questions, but I mean, I think that you really just touched on so many things, and we're happy to be able to have you on this podcast. And I don't know if you have any shout outs or anything you want to say in closing, but you know, the floor is yours.
I just thank you guys so much for having me, and I appreciate you. And I'm a big fan of your show, so I'm excited to watch this, I guess. Yeah, I've watched every episode, so I think you guys are doing a great job, and I appreciate it. And I think there's a lot of things that you can learn as a kid watching this show. So, yeah, keep going. And
All right, we just need to clip that little piece out. That's the new commercial. That's it.
Right, exactly. We'll just have Ryan's voice going, and you know, that's all we need. No, but thank you, Ryan, for your kind words. But we're happy to have, you know, this platform isn't happening without people with stories like yourself and the others before you. So keep doing what you're doing, and don't forget the little people like us when you you know, need to bring people to the green room. You know, we'll check our schedule. We'll probably be available.
All right, we can do a live episode from the green room. We can do.
Ooh.
Right, yeah.
Appreciate you guys.
Whatever it takes. So, yes, thank you, and keep training hard, and we'll catch you on the court come next season.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you, guys. Enjoy.
Good.
Thanks.
Ari, oh my God, does this kid have his head on his shoulders or what?
He's got his hair on his. Well, he's got his hair on his shoulders. First of all,
That's true.
What
would you give? What would you give for that head of hair?
A lot.
Would you give all your muscles back?
Ooh, yeah, because I'd have his muscle. Well, do his muscles come with it? He's up to 220. I mean,
it's just the hair. This is like a what's that movie? Little Mermaid. It's one of like you either get like the voice.
I don't know. We're gonna start talking about your favorite movies
or something. I don't remember the particulars, but I know it has something to do with the voice and legs and fins.
He is, and it's like what we said, and we said it to his face. I mean, what Coach Steinmetz told us. He said he's the easiest guy to coach. He is just, I mean, it's as if YU gives PR classes and he aced that subject because
you know it's funny. I mean, everyone we've talked to from that program, from you know, Coach Steinmetz on down is the same way. And listen, I'm sure they do have conversations about it. You know, YU is on, and we've talked about this, representing the Jewish people on many levels. But so I'm sure they have conversations. But to your point, it's not like I don't think they have formal PR classes. And yet every person in that program just gets it. And I think that's part of the deal. I don't think that you know,
it's a good family behind you. They all come from a good family system. You can tell. Right. I mean, you know, you're not getting recruited to play there. You know, they don't have the bad boy on the team, you know? Right. I mean, as Ryan said, I mean, his parents were so influential in his upbringing and pushing him and, you know, letting him live out his dreams. And what I took out of that is that being a superstar is not easy. It doesn't just happen. You know what I mean? He's working. He's trying to gain weight, which is a foreign concept for Jews. Most people don't need to try to gain weight. We usually just do.
Yeah, you just, you know, a couple cholins, couple cocoas.
Right, exactly. He's doing everything he can to put himself in the best position possible to chase his dream.
And you know what's funny? Yeah, you hear like, oh, Orthodox kid, NBA, stop it, get out of here. But then you talk to him and you see how hard he's working, and it's, you know, you say, why not? Listen, Ari, how many guys have you heard go, oh, if I was 3 inches taller, I would have been a superstar because I had a great jump. Like, no, it's not. Listen, does being 6'7" help in the game of basketball? Yeah, it does.
Right. That you can't teach that. That's something.
Correct. That's what they call an intangible. Correct. But what is very tangible, you know, the guy has 2 coaches. He's working up. I mean,
Dash and Darrell.
Everyone we talk to, Tamir said he used to go to the park and play for 10 hours a day. There are no accidents at that level.
By the way, Jay, just some funny. Tamir used to sit at the park begging to get in a game. Now Ryan has an app that tells him where the best pickup game is.
Please come play with
Right,
us.
right. It's kind of, from the Jewish Jordan to the future
Jewish LeBron.
possible. Right. It's just
And by the way, I
funny
realized that as we were talking to him, and I was when I made that point about LeBron, that is sort of kind of what I think of with him in terms of just his ability to really, he's kind of at that perfect height where he could play. I don't know that he's not a center, but like LeBron's not really a center either.
right.
But 1 through 4, and just be able to kind of do
In the modern NBA game, 6'7" is like the ideal height.
right. And it's when you said to him, "What's the one thing you want to get better at?" He said, "Ball handling," because that. You could do that. You could ball handle like Steph Curry, and then the rest of the game that he has, Steph Curry's not 6'7".
Right.
So, you take that skill and add it to the repertoire that this guy has, and, really, there's no ceiling. I don't see it.
Yeah, I mean, and everyone is rooting for him. I mean, just from hearing from a kid like that, and a young man, really. I mean, to hearing the dedication to hone his craft, to really, he is so grounded with the ability, with the aspirations he has, which is just amazing. But you know what I mean? We're all rooting for him, and he's big fans of us.
Once you talk to somebody like that, there's there's absolutely no reason not to. I mean, why would you not root for somebody who's just,
carrying himself the right way?
Guy.
Yeah, no, and that's that's something special, and he's like he said. I mean, it's about the pathway. He wants others to look up to him and to say, you know what, why not? I mean, that's kind of been the theme in a lot of our interviews, even with the Halper brothers. Like, simple as like playing professionally in Israel. Living his dream. I mean, his brothers.
The funny part is with Ryan. I mean, that's sort of like that's the fallback plan at this point would be to go to Israel and play there. I mean,
yeah, I mean that's his dream. And you know what? Sometimes you can dream and dream bigger because it's you never know what's going to be. But yeah, that was just a great interview. We wish him so much success. And, he even said he likes our show, which is great. And that's, by the way, when I reached out to him, when I had our PR agency reach out to him.
To the agents with
to ask if he graciously come on our show. He said, I couldn't even finish the typing. He said, yes, with exclamation points. He goes, big fans. And I'm like, oh, this is just Ari and Jay. I don't know who. He's like, no, you guys, I'm a big fan. So, people are watching the show, which is the what we're hoping to do. And, like we said, we're looking for great stories. We've brought you, I think 6 or 7 guests already. And
technically 8,
we're not including ourselves as guests.
Well, 8 if you count the 3 Halper brothers. So it's.
Oh, that's true. Very good, valid point.
Yeah.
So in our upcoming episodes, we have some top line Hall of Fame coaches. We have some big names we're looking into, some ex-NBA players who are working with Jews in sports these days. So we have some big names. But
we got to get Dash on here. We got to get Dash.
Yeah, Dash. I mean, look, I want to get bigger. I mean, if Dash could help us, make you taller. Oh, that was the highlight of the show when Ryan called you
I think the only
out.
way to make me taller is a trip to Nordstrom and buy some platform shoes at this point.
There you go. Hey, anything is achievable these days. Not affordable, but achievable.
And the other way these episodes happen is with sponsors, Ari. And a huge thanks. Got to Get a Bagel made this episode possible. The last 3 episodes, in fact. A huge thank you to them. Listen, you heard it at the top of the show. They got the bagels, they got the salads, they got the sushi. They cater. All right. Supposedly they're catering Ari's mitzvatans or something. That's what I heard.
Anniversaries or
whatever. Then the Gary Mandel, law firm of Gary Mandel. We didn't hit it at the top, but listen, if you know anybody who's trying to sneak in the border, no, I'm kidding. But Gary does handle immigration law and personal injury. So if you get injured,
all around great guy. We love those muscles, Mandels.
Yes, and Gary, a huge thank you to you. We know that you wanted to sponsor this episode specifically. You have a relationship with Ryan from when he played
with the muscles, from Brussels.
The muscles. I mean, listen, so we're glad that we were able to make this happen. The Lions Den. It's a place where you go to get eaten by lions. It's also a place where, you come in, you work out, you play some ball, you get better at your
work
game.
On your self-esteem for kids looking for a resource to just, improve their overall athletic ability and just feel better about themselves.
They got prizes at the end of the day.
Prizes. It's all about the prizes. We like free things. Prizes are good.
Absolutely.
And let's not forget Ballers Basketball Academy, where Ryan Turell began his career at the Ballers Basketball Academy.
That is factually incorrect.
Yeah, actually not true.
True.
He is a big endorser of the Ballers Basketball Academy. Maybe, by the way,
also not true.
By the way, we're gonna look into bringing Ryan into a non-paid appearance, of course, amateur. bring him into the camp if he's around, August 23rd through 26th.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
Ari, that's smart. Way to take advantage of him while he can't take your money. Good.
Exactly.
Way to be.
It'll be the IOU, you know, and then like, oh, wait, you changed your phone number? I can't find you anymore? Yeah. No, but Ballers Basketball Academy, end of the summer, August 23rd, 26th. It's going to be a day camp of great basketball, leagues, skills, drills. Check us out. Call us. And
So it's only 4 days? It's only 4 days?
4 days, yeah.
All right.
4 days.
You don't believe in Fridays?
Nah, Friday we got to get ready for Shabbos, you know. In the summer, Shabbos has come upon pretty quickly.
Yeah, no. Those 8 o'clock Shabbos is really creep up on you.
They sneak up
You
on you.
can't even stay awake that long. What are
right?
you
It's
talking
true.
about?
No, but this
Ari, this was, I don't even want to hang up. This was such a pleasure.
I know.
today.
Seriously. Call me after
You know
the
what
show.
it is?
Let's
I
just
mean,
talk.
listen, we haven't had an episode in 2 weeks. These poor people are dying for content, but glad that we're back. Holidays
forget,
are over.
Besides the YouTube channel, Spotify, Yeshiva League Pass on Instagram.
Yeah, listen,
Follow
if you're
us.
watching us on YouTube right now, look at the first line of the description. It has links to all the podcast platforms. If you'd rather listen to us in your car, I understand Ari's hard to look at for an hour. I get it. Believe me, people, I sympathize. So
The glare on the forehead gets a little much.
listen,
I understand.
subscribe, audio only. We're everywhere. If you're listening to us on audio, watch the videos on YouTube. You know, wherever you're getting it, you can get it more. That's really all I had to say.
Number 7 in the books. Oh,
That's
I
4.
forget
That's
that.
7. Yeah. That's
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
peace.
Peace out. We'll see you next week. Enjoy the show.
And we're done.
Nice. How long do you think?